Growing up, my main goal was to make sure that nobody had a problem with me, that no one disliked me, that everyone just felt loved by me and appreciated by me, and I just wanted to make sure that I was the nice guy and just that I'm there to put smiles on your face type of guy. I wanted not just every girl, but just every person in general to like me. Simple as that. I didn't want to step on no toes. I didn't want to do anything to offend anybody. And though that was, a cool little route to go, and I made some good friendships, I had some effect on people, at the end of the day, I was capping myself off from being my most masculine, most attractive self as a man, especially to women. Growing up, bro, I got no girls. I legit had a lot of friends that were girls, but I had no girls that were actually pursuing me. And as I got older, I started realizing that the world, especially like in the dating world, it's not all just black and white. What culture tells you is the right thing to do and the right way to act, and what women want from men is actually the total opposite. So once I started realizing that this list, these things right here, are what women actually desire and obsess after, my whole perspective changed, bro. So with today's video, I wanted to discuss 12 of the weirdest things that women actually find attractive in men. Now, I was doing some research online a little earlier, and I was just kind of trying to see what the internet had to say about this topic, and there's some things here that said a man who repairs things, a man who can solve problems, a man who has facial hair. Whoa, watch out, that's pretty weird. It's like, come on, bro. I'm gonna actually give you guys some unconventional things that you can do that women actually find irresistible. Now, there was a blog that I saw that was a little more unconventional, but again, it said long distance runners. Nobody cares if you run long distance, bro. It said if you got a dad bod, bro, oh my gosh, no girl wants a dad bod. The dad bods that they say that girls like is like Jason Momoa on vacation. Like, bro, that dude still looks freaking yoked. So I'm gonna stay away from all those vlogs and just kind of make my own little list. I mean, what are they gonna say next, bro? A guy with moobs. Yeah, a guy with acne all over his face. No shade to any of you guys who have acne or man boobs. I apologize. But we know girls, that's not typically what girls are obsessing over. So anyways, let's go ahead and kick this thing off and stay tuned for the very last one, the 12th one. It is the most important one, you guys. I can promise you on that. So let's kick it off with number 1. The first weirdest thing that women find attractive is crying. No, I'm just kidding. No, freaking don't cry, bro. It's actually the complete opposite. It's having neutral expressions. Basically being not too high and not too low. You may have heard me talk about this here on the channel previously before, but for those of you who are new, hey, whether you're too extreme this way or too extreme that way, women don't want highly sensitive and emotional men whose energy just spikes up and then crashes and he's just all over the place with his emotions. As a man, nah, bro, we need to be a little more neutral, a little more stoic. Do not let your feelings call the shots in your life, bro. You almost have to have and I'm not a full advocate of this, but you gotta have a little bit of that Sigma personality. I'm not saying to be 100% Sigma, but there needs to be that underlying Sigma presence where you're kind of just unfazed. You're just mission focused. Now, I'm not saying that you can never be super happy sometimes, or you can't have a moment where you're down and out, but it can't be a constant roller coaster, you guys. And if you find yourself getting a little too happy, getting a little too excited, bring it down quick, bro. Just bring it down. Which now this leads me into number 2. Being introverted. Now, I had a whole video on this. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but basically, long story short, most guys think that they need to be super outgoing, super confident, and just Mr. Comedic, Mr. Funny guy, Mr. Seducer. And though, being very outgoing, being extroverted, though that can help you in a lot of situations, the only problem with that kind of energy is you gotta be very aware of it and constantly pull it down. Because girls aren't obsessing over super obnoxious guys with, like we just said, with energy levels that are just all over the place. They're looking for that more neutral energy. The thing with introverted men is that they tend to have more masculine energy. Because what is masculine energy? It's basically staying cool, calm, and collected through tough situations, tough times. It's being able to hold your composure, being in control of yourself. And a lot of the times, having that extroverted energy, like I said, it can come off feminine sometimes if you let it. Now, don't get me wrong, I would much rather be an extroverted guy, and because it's a little more easier to have to tune it down rather than being introverted and having to constantly step outside of my box, outside of my comfort zone. But with being introverted, you can use this to your advantage, and girls actually do find it attractive. Now, there is a difference between being introverted and being shy. Shy is basically like always secluding yourself and cutting yourself off from the world and not talking to nobody. And, you don't want to be that. Being introverted is basically still, having those shy characteristics, but you still push yourself outside of your comfort zone. You don't let that stop you. You still pursue life. You still pursue goals. And typically, as an introverted guy, you never allow yourself to even get super excited and super obnoxious about anything, really, because that's just not really in your character. It's like Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. He's a very introverted guy, right? He's not shy, but he's introverted. And the women are just like cuckoo-eyed after him. Number 3, being a good driver. Now, this one's super important. My wife and I, we had a family friend, and she was going out on a date about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And she was, in this guy's car, and the guy was just being reckless. There was even times where he was driving on the freeway, looking at his phone and just going all over the place, all over the road. And she was legit getting mad and irritated with the guy. Because think about it, bro. Girls, what do they want from a man at the end of the day? They want security. And hey, if you're taking a girl out, especially on the first date, and you're not making her feel secure, you're not making her feel safe in that car, that's a massive turnoff, bro. So don't ever make your girl feel like you're putting her in harm's way. That's like one of the best ways for her to lose her attraction for you. Which leads me to this next one. Now, if you are a good driver and you're not sitting here looking at your phone and you're not being a doofus, if you are a good driver, you got that down, then having one hand on the wheel, one hand on her lap. Yeah, girls like that, bro. I try to do this as often as I can. I either have my hand on my wife's lap or I'm kind of just holding her hand, and she absolutely loves it, bro. It allows her to feel like I'm always constantly thinking about her, like I'm always constantly pursuing her, even 8 years into our marriage, and it lets her know that I can't get enough of her, bro, and that I value her, that I cherish her, and I want to spend like every waking moment with her. Number 5, being a little cocky. I don't like how I said that. Cocky. What was that? Now, being a little cocky, just a little bit. It's like adding a little spice to a nice gourmet meal or something like that. You don't want to add too much, just a little bit, just to add some extra flavor. If you're Mr. Goody Two Shoes all the time, come on, bro. I would typically never advise this, but sometimes, bro, you gotta be almost like a little F-boy. You gotta add some little F-boy vibes in there. Just sometimes though. You can't do this all the time. You just sprinkle it in there. Sometimes, like if my wife is getting ready and she's in there brushing her teeth, I'll walk in there and I'll take off my shirt like this and just start like flexing in the mirror, dude. Start maybe beating my chest and just being like, dang, you're lucky you got my ass. If I were you, I'd be thanking God every single day for me. Just little dumb, cheesy, stupid stuff like that. Every once in a while, sprinkle it in there. And it kind of just throws her off. It makes you just a little unpredictable sometimes. And I don't know, bro. I mean, we see this. We see, a lot of girls these days, for some reason, they like the little cocky guys sometimes. The little douchebag F-boys. I mean, we see it. We see it in movies all the time. So I would say don't ever overdo it. That's just retarded. But you could sprinkle it in there. Number 6, be mysterious. Don't give away too much about yourself, bro. Stay mysterious. Too many guys, honestly, they don't even have the courage. They don't even have the confidence to be able to do this. Most guys want to spill the beans. Most guys just want to keep talking and talking, no awkward silence. But what happens is, as a man, when you constantly just give away all your information, let that girl know everything you're doing at every point in your life and everything that you're working toward and all your plans and all your motives and just where you were at what time today it's too much. And when you do this, bro, all your mystery is gone. All of a sudden, she doesn't need to think about you anymore. She knows every little thing about you. She knows how you spent your whole entire day, what you're probably gonna do tomorrow because you're just so predictable now, because she just knows every little infinitesimal little thing about you. So be a little mysterious. Obviously, you don't want to be like suspicious, right? Because then she's probably not gonna like trust you anymore. But just be a little mysterious, bro. And if you do this, you'll notice that all of a sudden she's gonna start thinking about you a little more. It's kind of like you're a little puzzle that they want to solve. So hey, look, girls, they obsess over the mystery guy. They obsess over the mysterious mysterious guy. It's like basic psychology, bro. But obviously, don't use it in a negative way. Don't cause her to, like I said, to become suspicious. Don't do like negative, bad things. Don't do things that are gonna be actually like destructive to your relationship. I'm not saying that. And then just hide them all because you need to be mysterious. I mean, obviously, guys, it's just like common sense. But all I'm saying is don't be just freely giving away all your information. Kind of hold back a little bit more. And then in return, this is gonna make her kind of lean into you, bro. She's gonna pay a little bit more attention to you. She's gonna ask you more questions. She's gonna want to be more involved with you, obsessing over you. Number 7, make her a little jealous. Now, hey, if she compliments you, she says something like, oh, you know, I can't stop thinking about you. You can be a little cheeky here and there. This is very sporadic. You don't do this. It's not an everyday thing, but you could say something like, oh, you know, yeah, that's what all the girls DM me these days. And obviously, bro, this only works if like your history, your track record is clean as a whistle. Obviously, if she's caught you messing around with girls or like texting and actually DMing other girls, obviously you can't say this. My wife and I, like our Instagrams are literally connected. Like she can go into my account, I can go into hers at any time. There's nothing to hide. And I've never given her any reason to not trust me, you know, so like our trust goes deep, like as deep as the ocean. So you got to make sure you're doing first things first. You're being the man that you need to be. You're making sure that you're honoring her constantly, having integrity, and then you can kind of play around with her like this. Just here and there though. You don't want to do this as like an everyday thing, because then again, she might get like a little suspicious. Like, all right, well, is he being serious then? Number 8, this one might be a little weird, but hands. Now, I've been hearing a lot of girls talk about this lately, bro, no lie. And my wife actually, she's always said that her favorite body part on me is obviously, I mean, first and foremost, obviously, my Johnny Longschlong. But secondly, the hands, bro. And it's not necessarily about having like super soft, like manicured hands, right? It's not about that. It's more so about having lean, kind of vascular hands where you can, you know, kind of see the veins going through. And the only way to achieve this, if you don't have this and you do want to achieve it, I mean, this is not like a make or break for women. It's just, it is a little bonus for them, for a lot of women. But the only way to achieve that is to just lower your overall body fat percentage. I noticed when I used to like bulk back in the day, and I would put on a lot of weight, not only would my face get like real super round and kind of chubby and, you know, my stomach and stuff, but also like my arms, my hands, bro, like my rings wouldn't even fit me and I would start to lose all those veins. So the great thing about having kind of like vascular veiny hands is that it just has a more masculine presence. Not that I have like super manly hands. I mean, my fingers are freaking tiny, skinny, bro. But like I said, it is one of my wife's favorite features on my body. Number 9, rolled up sleeves. Now, I've been seeing a lot lately of girls talking about how much they love rolled up sleeves. My wife is even, she can definitely attest to this. Whenever I roll up my sleeves, every single time, bro, I'm getting a compliment. And she's always like, you know, feeling up on my forearms. And she absolutely loves it, bro. Women love it. It's honestly, it's like man cleavage. Like how we like to see a little cleavage on the ladies, they like to see a little cleavage on the forearms. And you don't necessarily need to have like big old buffed out forearms or anything like that. I mean, obviously you see me, my forearms are pretty tiny. But what I do have is leanness, especially like when I'm getting near the summertime and I'm like on a serious cut, those veins start to really pop out, right? I start to get real vascular. It's kind of like the same situation with the hands. When you got vascular hands and forearms, this is very attractive to women. And the reason for this, I believe personally, is simply because having veiny hands and forearms are constantly making girls fantasize and think about your veiny. Number 10, ruggedness. Not being a little pretty boy, not having like a little pretty fluffy hairstyle like all those little TikTok boys you see where they're sitting there smiling, winking, you know, nah, bro. I mean, maybe like little girls in junior high and high school, they might like these type of guys. They might like little like flamboyant guys like that. But women, bro, they don't want this. They want a man who's more rugged, who's more tough. Maybe even if like you have a little bit of crooked teeth, or maybe your hairline's a little farther back like mine, or you got like, you know, kind of patchy beard, whatever. At least it's a little bit of like ruggedness. It's not so pretty. It's very rare that you see a really like, I don't mean to be like, I mean like no homo, but a gorgeous guy who's just kind of playing it low key, who's not afraid just to get a buzz cut and rock a beard. And so what happens is these pretty boys, they just get too obsessed with themselves. They become super narcissistic and their whole vibe now just changes. They lose all their masculinity. I'm not saying this is the case with every single guy, but you do see it a lot. So if you're not like a 10 out of 10, if you're like more like me, like maybe a 7 out of 10, hey, that's cool, bro. And we can definitely work with that. And in fact, you might be more attractive to women because you're just a little more low key. You're a little bit more, you know, you have a little bit more humility. You have a little bit more ruggedness about you. And you're not so like, look at me, everybody. Look how cute I am. Yeah. Number 11, having a passion, or even having something that's a little nerdy that you like if you like geek out on, say, like Star Wars, for instance. Like that's me, bro. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, Lord of the Rings fan, and I mean, I'm not like overly obsessed about it where like my life is just like every single second I'm like, you know, researching and buying all the toys and putting them on my shelves, and like, you know, like I'm not doing any of that. I'm not like going to Comic-Con and like none of that. But I do love it. I do love those worlds. Anytime there's a new Star Wars show out, anytime, you know, Lord of the Rings drops something new, like I'm on it. And I do geek out a little bit. I really do show some passion sometimes. You'll see me like when a new show comes out, if my friends come over, like, dude, we're freaking talking about this scene and that scene, and oh dude, did you see who Sauron was, bro? Oh yeah, bro, I knew it the whole time. Nah, you didn't, dude. Nah, dude, I swear, bro, I knew it was him. And it's kind of cool, bro. My wife sees that joy in me. She sees that little kid kind of come out of me sometimes, and she likes it, bro. She likes seeing me happy. And we actually have my wife's best friend, she actually won't even date guys if they haven't seen Star Wars. Like, that's kind of like a big deal to her, believe it or not. Now look, bro, I'm not like saying that you like have to watch Star Wars or you have to watch like all these kind of geeky, nerdy things, but I'm just saying, like, it is cool to kind of geek out and nerd out over certain things. As long as it doesn't consume you, you don't become absolutely obsessive and it's taking over your life and you're becoming like a degenerate, then okay, cool. And honestly, bro, the great thing about having a good wife, a good girl, is she's gonna follow you. She's gonna do what you like. She's gonna like what you like. That's what women do. I mean, and I don't mean this in a negative way at all, but women naturally are followers. And it's like my wife, bro, once I introduced her to all my music that I listen to, all my types of movies and TV shows, she ended up just loving all of it because I loved it. And now when we got a new Star Wars show coming out, when we got like a new Netflix series or whatever that I'm excited about, she's just as excited. Her energy matches mine. And number 12, like I said, the most important, polarize. As a man, that should be your goal. You should be a little polarizing. Basically what polarize means, I think I heard Hamza talk about this, is it's pushing people to the extremes of loving you or hating you. And you can only do this by being unconventional, by being a little bit controversial. See, having that extreme viewpoint, having that like us versus them mentality, you're gonna find that there's gonna be two types of people in your life. And like I said really early on in this video, you know, like I was trying to be the guy that everyone liked, but at the end of the day, that's not effective. What is effective is being polarizing and having people that either love you or hate you. And obviously this is gonna create a great division in your life, and you gotta be strong enough to be able to do this. But hey, check it out, either way, whether they hate you or love you, it don't matter. At the end of the day, both parties become obsessed with you. It's kind of like Andrew Tate, bro. Like, this is just my opinion, this is what I see, but when I see women who are always hating and bashing him, bashing his name, bro, it's almost like like sexual tension that I'm seeing here, bro. It's almost like low-key they actually really want him, and they like secretly, you know, want to be with the guy. And it's sad because God never called us men to be this way. He never told us to play it safe and, oh, don't offend anybody, don't step on any toes. And that's how most men live these days. They're walking on eggshells. That's what I did all growing up. I didn't want to hurt anybody, offend anybody. I wanted everybody to like me. And if you want to be your most masculine self, if you want to be your most aggressive self, you can't live this way. You are not called to live this way, my brother. At the end of the day, especially if you are a faith-based guy like me, if you believe in Christ, you know, believe in God's word, you got to stand up for it. And when you stand up for God, when you stand up for your faith and what you believe in as a man, you're gonna have a lot of people that hate you, bro. And Christ says in the Bible, if they hate you, it's because they first hated me. So you as a man, I hope I can light some kind of fire in your belly. You gotta stand up for what you believe in, and you gotta be unapologetic about it. Despite what others think, despite if they spew hateful words at you. Look at Jesus, bro. If you guys have seen the movie Passion of the Christ, at any moment, dude, he could have like wiped those guys out. At any moment, he could have just said, okay, I'm not the Son of God, right? And they would have stopped. They would have stopped persecuting him. They would have stopped torturing him. But no, instead, he stood up for what he believed in and what God called him to do, which was to die on the cross for our sins. At any moment, all he had to do was just say the word, but he didn't. He stuck with his mission. And how much more masculine can you get than that, bro? He literally died for what he believed in because he loved you and I so much, my brother. Even if you were the only guy in the world, he still would have died for your sins. What a beautiful story. What a better way for God to show his love to us, bro. And so, hey, check it out. Just to kind of finish off this video, if you live this way, if you live in this manner where you're polarizing, I'm just gonna warn you. I'm gonna be upfront with you. You're gonna have, like I said, a lot of people hate you and a lot of people love you. If your main goal in life is to attract all the women and have all the girls like you, that's not gonna happen by being polarizing, bro. When you do this, not all the girls are going to like you. Some are gonna think you're a freak. But check this out. I will tell you this, bro. Once you do find the right girl, the one for you, bro, she's gonna be obsessed with you. She's gonna be an absolute awe of you, just like my wife, bro. Because I stand up for what I believe in, because I'm a little bit more polarizing than most men out there, because I'm willing to stand up and be my most masculine self, yeah, a lot of girls get turned off by that. I ain't worried about them. The love and attention and all the admiration that my wife gives me, bro, I'm a blessed man. I'm satisfied. My cup constantly overflows with her. And that's what you get when you become that man, when you become a polarizing man. So with that said, bro, I know this video kind of took a turn and became a little more inspirational, I guess you could say. I hope, you got some kind of nugget of information out of it. With that said, be sure to check out my Masculine Masterclass down below to become your most masculine self and be the type of man that women just obsess over and fantasize over. Other than that, bro, please give this video a nice big thumbs up, hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop the next video, and check out this one right here if you want to completely transform your life as a man, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace always.